Ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday night, which means only one thing. We're live on the Coach Dom Show. Coach G and a couple players. Welcome back to the studio. Coach G, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. We had a good day today, so I really have nothing to complain about.
Well, that's a
So,
first.
I mean, I can always find something to complain about. It was a little spicy outside, so I sweated too much today. Naturally,
We can all find something to complain about. I see you got a couple of your fine athletes with you.
yeah. I'm gonna hand the headset over to each one of them so they can introduce themselves.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with. All right, so I'm gonna start with Abeyon, and his nickname is Paw Paw. Here he is.
Don't be shy, guys. Can you tell me a little bit about
Hello,
yourself?
my name Abeyon Motton. Uh, Play receiver, DB. Uh, the game of football is fun to me. I love playing it.
And you're from Caruthersville, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Abion, I've been covering you for I guess 3 years now. First, I was in the PA box, and then now covering you for the Boot Hill Sports Network. I got to say, between football and basketball, you are one heck of an athlete, and it's a pleasure to have you with us on the Boot Hill Sports Network.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir. And can I meet the guy that's shying away in the back there? Can we talk to you for just a second?
What's
How you
up?
doing? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good. My name is Jermonte. I'm a junior. I play safety, QB, wide receiver. I'm a captain of the team. I'm
Just
17.
make it funny.
Well, Jermonte, I can tell you, I don't know if you've gone back and have you watched any of the videos from the games this year?
Yes, sir.
So you know that you get talked about a lot. You're
Mm-hmm.
basically all over the field, and just like Abion, it's a pleasure to have you on the show tonight.
Great.
Thank you. Now, I guess hand it back to the big guy over there, and we'll get this going.
Monte has a nickname too, but he doesn't want me to say it. Neither did Abe.
You're more than welcome to, though.
You might as say his instead of mine.
All right. Well, see, every kid has a dumb nickname. I mean, his name is Abeyon, so naturally his nickname's Abe. And Coach Middleton calls him Paw Paw because he walks like an old man.
I said that was my next question was why.
He just, I mean, he's one. He's like our top. These two are the top two fastest kids in the building, and um, he might run fast, but he walks like an old man, taking his fish oils and all that kind of stuff.
Like one, too.
Well, well, that's the thing. He may walk like an old man, but he doesn't run like an old man.
He does not run like an old man. He's fast as all get out. And then Jermonte, who he doesn't even like to be called Jermonte, is Monte, and he has the affectionately nice nickname of Ugly. Um,
Oh. All right. So from now on, for the rest of the season, you want me to announce you as Monte instead of Jermonte?
yeah, he'd prefer that.
Okay. No problem at all.
Not Ugly Monte. He wants you to call you Monte, not Jermonte.
Now, unless he fumbles the ball 5 times in a game, I'll leave ugly out of it.
No, I mean they're good sports, and I mean naturally, uh, we're blessed to have a ton of really good athletes, and these guys are the ones that are they're superstars in all three. I mean they're forces in football, forces in track and field, and then forces in basketball. And unfortunately, Abe's a senior. Um, he's showing out for his last ride. I think what he got 4 interceptions this fall so far. Um, and then we're fortunate to have Monte again next year. He's a junior, so we've we're set up for the we're set up pretty good right now with these guys.
Well, and this one's for Avion. I won't call you by your nickname until
One
you
second, here he
you
goes.
allow. Uh,
Be nice.
All right.
just I wanted before I got into last week's game and this week's game, I wanted to say this to you. We were there covering the game, the basketball game in Dyersburg, I'm gonna tell you right now, that was a 3-pointer.
I know it was a 3. They cheated us.
I know.
They cheated us.
I said it. I said it on the air as soon as it happened. I said from where, and I was sitting all the way up top. But I said where I'm sitting, that was a 3, and everyone knows it's a 3. And I just wanted to give you that compliment because I know it was a 3. That should
Thank
have been a win for the Tigers there. But yeah, I saw it.
Feel
We
like
all
my
know it.
feet, feel like my feet was nowhere near the line. But
No, I didn't think so either. I didn't think anyone. That's why I saw the fans come over with the cell phones showing
uh-huh.
the referees, and of course that doesn't work. And but when you travel to Tennessee, you never know what you're going to get. So either way,
Yeah.
I know it was a 3. We all know it was a 3. So to me, it was a win. Nice shot.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Coach G.
I knew. I had I know that was going to get brought up.
About that 3 in Dodgeburg.
Was I not supposed to bring that up?
No, I knew you were going to do
He
it. I
said-
mean,
Oh.
he was salty.
He said he knew it was a 3. He seen
It was.
Everybody
from all the way at the top, and he caught it with the window.
Everybody knew it was 3.
Everybody knew it was a 3. So, we'll just get the first elephant out of the room. Last Friday night, it wasn't pretty. I wouldn't say that it wasn't a good showing because the Tigers showed good poise, and this is a New Madrid team that can put 65, 70 up if they wanted to, but the defense showed up. However, it was a shutout. How do you feel about the game Friday night?
Let's start out with the good part. I thought we performed really well on defense. I mean, you're talking like this is a team that can, like you said, can explode. I mean, I think they scored like 60, 69 points on us last year, and defensively to hold them to 27 and make them play a full 4 quarters that's a feat. I mean, that's a good football program.
Yeah, it is.
Offensively, it was a little bit disappointing day. We weren't able to, my marquee line of control between the tackles. We weren't able to do that, and they got some pressure on us. They schemed us up really well, and we showed some bright spots naturally. But we also showed some of our deficits, and I think if we take a silver lining out of it, we really focus on things that we need to really improve on this week in practice. So, was it disappointing with a shutout? Absolutely. I mean, that's tough. But silver lining wise, our defense came up strong, and I mean, we figured out what we need to work on these guys.
Well, that's if you go through and look at New Madrid's 5-0 now, and they've been handling people pretty well. And I thought, just from my viewpoint, the defense is what showed out for Caruthersville.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Streese worked his tail off in getting that defensive game plan ready, and the kids showed up and played hard, and even the offensive kids played hard. And most of the time, we were a block away, but that's stuff you can fix, thankfully. It wasn't one of those things where everything just melted down around you. You're like, what is going on? We really sat down and spent a lot of time on that film this week, and as we prepare for Dexter, and really honed in on the points that we need to get better at. And I feel that we spent the week in practice offensively doing that.
That's what I was going to ask you about practice. How was practice this week? And if you don't want to handle that one, I can let the guys answer it because I'm sure they have better feelings about it than you do.
Yeah, let Monte talk about practice this week.
Monte? Monte, how was practice this week?
It was good.
Did you focus on anything different than usual, or was it just practice as usual?
Practice like usual.
Just getting fired up for the game against Dexter?
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we start talking about the Dexter game, what are your feelings? Like I said, I think everyone played well. It was a great game. It just turned out to be, a 27-0 loss. How were your feelings after the game?
Feel like kind of sad about it. Mad. Feel like we could have did better. For real. Could have stepped the game up.
Does that give you extra motivation going into this week?
Yes, sir.
I kind of had that feeling, and I can't wait to watch it and call it. I had a feeling it would kind of fire the team up, just because I knew Magic's a good team, but you guys played well against them. They just got the better of you.
Yeah. Feel like we just lead up on the second half and just gave up.
Okay. All right, I understand that. Can you pass it to Abeyon?
Yes, sir.
Abeyon, you play a wide role as well, just like Monte. What do you? How was your feelings during after the game?
I was upset about the loss. Feel like we could have done better as a team. Everybody could have did way better than what they did. Cause I feel like we better than how we played.
Just di- disappointing, I think, is probably just the best word for it.
Uh-huh.
Because I think everyone going into that game, and it's still one of the best games of the year. Going into that game, I think everyone expected it to be close and tight fought on both sides, and regardless of the score, I think you guys played a heck of a game on defense, and the offense wasn't bad either. Just couldn't get that, like Coach said, that
Yeah.
one block or just that one extra step that you guys needed.
Yeah, me too. I like how the defense played. I feel like that was the best we played all year so far. Feel
Yeah,
like we can continue doing it.
I'd have to agree. Well, I guess let me talk to the big guy again, and we'll get into this week's game. At any time, Coach, you can tell me to stop calling you the big guy.
Well, fortunately, I can't even hear what you're asking the guys because it's in the headphones. So I'm kind of like, I'm gonna actually have to watch the replay of this for the first time.
Don't say for the first time. Just lie and say watch the replay again, like always.
Out of all the clinics I've done online and all the clinic speeches I've given and all that kind of stuff, I've never watched one of my own ever. My
Is
dad
there
does.
But is there a reason that you don't?
I just don't want to hear myself talk. I always think I sound like a doofus.
Same.
I think everybody feel like that.
Yeah, they feel the same way.
Well, they get to hear you all day, so they probably know better than I do. And the
I think they're
fans.
laughing because I'm being nice right now. Because yeah,
Yeah, because they don't see this side of you.
they do sometimes when they're acting right.
Oh, gotcha,
Nice
gotcha.
me.
Well, both of them are very well spoken, and again, as always, we appreciate having them on here. Um, so we talked about the game. We talked about this week's practice. I guess let's jump into it. Dexter 4-1. Their only loss was to New Madrid. What do you think about the Bearcats?
I mean, they're physical. I mean, they are. They're going to come out and they're a little. Let me backtrack. They're a little more diverse than they were last year. I think that they're throwing the ball a little bit more. I think that they run the ball really well. We saw them in our jamboree day, and they look good. That's a good football team. If we think back to last year's, it's jokers. Um, if we, the comments are popping up on the thing.
Oh yeah, I see.
I think last year we had 7 turnovers against them. That
That
hurt
usually,
last
yeah,
year. This was the first. This was we're their homecoming, and they were our homecoming last year. It was the week after we had that nice adverse home game. So this has been something that's been circled on our schedule for a while, and never looking ahead, but always in the back of our mind, like we knew we were going to be Dexter's homecoming, and that's a good football team, and we've taken some big strides as a football program too. And I think it'll be a good Friday night.
see, I got that feeling as well. Now, uh, as a team, I don't recall very many times when a high school team has a 3-game road trip. So this will be the end of the road trip. Is it kind of take a wear and tear on the team, or is it just Friday is normal?
I mean, traveling's always tough. I mean, Kennett's an easy trip. I mean, you're talking about 30 minutes.
Right.
Duh.
Yeah, exactly. And then you talk about 3 road games they're tough games. I mean, Kennett's not easy. I mean, New Madrid's one of the top teams in the state, and then Dexter's a 3A powerhouse football team. They're 4-1. I mean, that's a tough road stretch. And I think after this week, we're going to look forward to being at home for a couple weeks, playing in front of our home stands. I mean, we've been watching the grass grow on our football field and really only touching it on Thursdays.
Yeah. Right.
But we want to finish this road stretch out pretty strong and get back to playing in front of our fans here. And we travel really well. I mean, you saw our fans last week.
Oh yeah, you could hear them.
Oh, you can hear them, and they're awesome. But it'll be nice to have the away team on our home sideline, listen to our fans, be great Caruthersville football fans.
And well, we try. I promise you that, Coach. But other than I know they do have a strong running game. Is there anything else you really know and picked up about? And we say this every week, but without giving away too much, that you guys have picked up from film or anything about Dexter that just really stands out, that really you've been looking at or thinking about?
That RJ Farmer kid's really good. I think the running back's very talented. They're big up front. You can tell they put a lot of work in the off season. They have a really good coaching staff. Coach Jamerson's a good football coach, and he surrounded himself with a bunch of good football coaches. So you know you're going to go into a game where they've got some talented kids. They're very well coached, and they're big and strong. And I think there's things that we have that they don't, and I think there's things that they have that we don't. So it'll be the smash mouth versus the speedster type of a football game.
And are you health-wise? Everyone pretty good? Is there any concerns this week? Anyone sitting out?
I think we're getting pretty healthy. I mean, we were very fortunate to leave New Madrid healthy. They played a tough football game at New Madrid, and there was a lot of banging around in there. And again, we're still on that preventative maintenance. The guys have been taking ice baths after practice, and we got the heating pads rolled out and stuff like that. So we're trying to keep the kids as healthy as we can as we go into Friday night.
And is there anything us as fans should be looking forward to? Anything different? Anything you're going to roll out? Of course, I know you're not going to give me too much. You're going to tell me you're going to play Tiger football. I know that. But just anything special this week?
I think we've made some adjustments. Again, after a game where we had the potential to score a lot of points and we did not, we did some soul searching, and I think that we've put together a package out there and worked on some stuff and polished up on some stuff that we're going to be able to go give a good brand of quote Tiger football end quote.
I mean, we can't have a broadcast without you saying it at least once.
And I'm just glad my dad didn't make a smart aleck comment this time. Yeah.
Yet. Well, I'm going to quote you on that soul searching because I have a feeling, I got a good feeling about this week. I think most Tiger fans do. So, depending on how it goes, like I said, I think it's going to go good. I'm going to be sure to say on the air, from Coach G, soul searching.
I mean, that's the best term for it. I mean, sometimes you get football season's rough. There's a lot of up and downs, and you ride the highs and you ride the lows, and sometimes there's decisions that have to be made in the lows, and sometimes there are changes that have to be made in the lows, and there's sometimes the best thing to happen is when you're coming off of a game where you're disappointed. And you can play a football game and give it your all and lose to a team that's better and be like, you know what, we went out there and did everything that we were supposed to do, and we lost. And you can have it. I don't believe in moral victories. There's either a win or a loss in the win column. When we left New Madrid, we were proud of our defense. And we were proud of some of the offensive fight too. But we knew that we had to dig down deep and look at where we're at, look what we need to get better at, look what we need to do. And that's what we focused on this week. And I know every week I say something along the lines of we're focusing on us and da-da-da-da. But in the trials and tribulations of a football season, you have to sometimes take a step back and be like, okay, we need to shake something up. We even changed the way our practice structure a little bit because our practice structure got stale. I mean, you can't go through an entire football season doing the same mundane things every day. And I know there's a routine aspect to it, but sometimes you just gotta just shake it up and work. And our principal says we're going to work, and every day he says every day. And we had to go to work, and I think for the most part the kids responded really well to what we shook up, and we put the kids in the situations to succeed. And I think we grew as a program.
Well, I can tell you from everyone that was up in the booth alongside me said the same thing. The defense really did stand out. Now I realize, unfortunately, it was a shutout, but the defense. That mean, that's the type of game that could have gone 60, 70 points like it was last year. The defense really did stand up and kind of punch them in the face a couple times when it looked like they were driving. So I think that's a big thing to stand on, and a great thing to move forward into this week.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're looking at a season last year where the games that we did lose, we let up a lot of points, and we've taken a huge step forward. And I think a lot of it is our kids' maturity level. We got a year older as a program. Remember, we're back-to-back years with 5 seniors.
Right.
I think that offensively, we're getting in a groove with our system and designing plays to make sure we're featuring all of our assets and really putting our kids in a situation to really compete hard in practice. And I think the hardest part about being a small school is we have this term in coaching: the competition breeds successful. Sometimes you have to manufacture it. And this week we did a good job of that. And I think our kids rose to the occasion and really battled with each other and really battled with each other and did a really good job. I mean, rebounding after a tough week is hard. Like you can go 2 ways. You can just have a bad week of practice and cash it in, or you can get motivated to come back out and play football. And we had a good showing, but the kids weren't satisfied with it, and they put the work in this week, and shoot, we're proud of them.
Well, just from the little bit I've got to talk to these guys, I feel like they're motivated and they're ready to bounce back. They're disappointed from the loss Friday night, but ready to rebound this Friday night against Dexter. And before we get to the hard questions on you, Coach, I want to talk to them one more time and just see how they feel going into Friday night.
Be diplomatic.
All right, so what we just got talking about,
What?
going into Friday night, I know the team's disappointed about the loss, but like Coach said, you've had good practice this week, and
All right, I got you.
how do you feel about going into Dexter?
You're fine.
Feel great. Feel like we can step up. Feel like we can do our thing.
Play that Tiger football, as Coach always says.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we look forward to seeing it. Go ahead.
I can't hear you.
I won't get mad at you.
I just said we look forward to seeing it. You guys are 2 of the brightest athletes in Caruthersville, which is saying a lot because there's a lot of bright ones, and we look forward to seeing it. So Monte and Abeyon, I'll let him talk next, but we look forward to seeing it, and I like the confidence. So, like Coach said, it's been a good week of practice.
Yup. We step our game up at practice today. We turn up a notch.
A little bit.
Well, that sounds good. I'd love to hear that. I'll talk to Abeyon one more time, and then back to Coach. Abeyon, thank you. Just like I asked Monte, obviously Friday was disappointing, but it sounds like you guys had a good week of practice, and are you pretty fired up about Friday night against Dexter?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like the whole team's ready for it? Just kind of rebound game.
Yeah, feel like come out, play hard, play like we play our best, play like we should play. We should win.
And is there anything before we hand it back over to Coach? Anything you want to add before Friday night?
Nah.
I feel like there is. I feel like there is. You got that look in your eye.
He gonna get upset.
Okay. Better hand it back to Coach then.
What am I going to get upset about?
I all I said was, "Is there anything you want to add before we give it back to Coach?" He said, "No."
Oh,
He's going
smart
to get
man.
upset. Yeah, exactly. Uh,
You know I don't
well,
like giving secrets out on the radio.
no, I'm aware of that, but I just think that you got two really good football players and two strong gentlemen there, very respectable, and it's a pleasure having them on the show tonight, Coach.
Yeah, they're leaders for us. They're leaders in the building, which is huge. They're three sport athletes. Kids look up to them. I mean, they both have super fans and great families and the whole nine, and we're fortunate. Let me just say this from a head coach perspective. I'm fortunate to have them both at the same time. Do they make my beard a little gray sometimes? Especially the one in the middle? Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
okay.
saw a couple new grays pop up because of these two this year so far. But they've really in the last year and a half, 2 years I've been here, I've really got to see them grow into great young men and see how they've taken the leadership role in stride. And look, being in the spotlight is not easy.
No, it's not.
Being the guys that people put in red jerseys in practice is not easy. I mean, ask the Jadises and the Mason Adams kid from Portersville and all these other great Boot Hill football players. It's hard being the superstars. It's hard being those guys because everybody's focused on you and da-da-da. And thankfully, these guys really do a great job of supporting their teammates and picking people up and making it a team affair. And I'm pretty proud of who they are today.
Well, see, and you used the word superstar, and I couldn't agree more because I've got to see both of these young men play. I haven't seen the third sport. Obviously, I don't get to see track, but I've seen basketball and football, and these two are definitely superstars. And you can tell that their leadership on the field it shows during the games.
I mean, when you have players coming up and asking leadership type questions and practice, and even if it's not just me, it's the other coaches too. Coach, what about this? We need to pick this up. Da, da, da. Like that's what you look forward to as a coach because you can't control everything. I can't control a kid's effort. I can't control a kid's attitude. Nothing like that. That's all inside, and these guys have done a good job of bringing out positive energy and great effort out of their teammates all season so far.
See, and I think I have to agree with the positive energy because I've been at all except for one game so far, and it seems like, and I'm trying to step out on a limb here, but it seems like other teams are getting a lot more personal fouls, unsportsmanlike flags. Like I don't remember that many from the Tigers, but I remember a lot from the other teams.
We've accumulated a couple sideline warnings.
Well, that's on you, Coach.
No, only one was on me.
Okay, well, it's tough to tell from the booth, but I have a feeling.
Only one. But these kids, like, I mean, they've stepped away from some things that last year would have caused them to get into a back and forth, and they've avoided situations. They've been proactive about situations. They communicate with us so we can do the fighting for them. I mean, that's our job. Like they play the game, and we do the fight for them. And they do a good job of, and this is the whole program, not just these two, of keeping everybody kind of level-headed through the ups and downs and all that. So it's been pretty refreshing having that here with these two and the team in general.
So yeah, that's a pleasure here because unfortunately sometimes coaches aren't as personable with their players. They just look at them as players, not as teammates, friends, and students and basically kids. Not kids as far as young kids, but they're still kids. They're young athletes. So
there was a great post I saw on Facebook. I think it was Coach Middleton's wife posted it, and I'm looking for it right now. The open letters from the high school football coach to parents, and it basically goes through, I teach your son, I spend all day with your son, we make sure they're eating in school, we do this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And basically that the summation of that post is the football team's a family, and it's not just X's and O's. It's being able to call Abeyon Pawpaw and have a little fun in practice when it's 95 degrees, and to, I don't know, talk trash to Monte or whatever, and jump around and have fun and do the Ric Flair Rolex wearing thing. And like, that's the stuff that brings you closer as a team. I mean, it can't just be all business all the time. And like, they know that sometimes they're more mature than I am, but
that's not hard to believe, but
they do the program since I've been here, and I can't really comment on it before, but what I've seen growth-wise from us is these kids actually like being around each other and all that, so it's good. And they're probably talking stuff right now, right behind me. Yep,
I'm pretty sure. I can see both of them.
I can see that Cheshire grin behind me. I already know he's talking.
Yes, you can see that all the way back here. Well, all right. Well, so the final thoughts about the Bearcats. They're 4-1, and this is one of our key games of the week. There's a big matchup with Caruthersville and Dexter. So, anything else you want to add about going into the game on the road for the third straight week?
I think we've been tested on the road. I think we've learned how to play on the road. I mean, shoot, we've lived on it for the last couple of weeks. We've done a really good job of preparing for Dexter. I think the defense is really honed in. I think the offense has taken some strides forward. I think that I'm excited to see the red and white in their stands, not the red and black in their stands.
Right.
And because we've been traveling, I mean, shoot, we filled up the Park Hills visitor stands. I'm excited to see the fans come out and support the boys, and I think we can call the plays and we can put them in positions to be successful. It's up to them if they want to rise to that, if they want to rise to the occasion, if they want to have heart and passion, soul, and da-da-da-da. And I think that the way we ended practice today and the focus that we had today, I think the boys are ready. I know I always tell people that they ask me if I'm ready for the game. I tell them to ask me at 10 o'clock on Friday night, and I'll let you know if I was ready for the game.
Yeah.
But I think the boys themselves are ready to go out there and compete against Dexter. We have, I mean, last year, Dexter was where we found our identity last year. Dexter is where we figured out we were going to run counter. And then the next week we ran it for 32 times for 256 yards and 4 touchdowns. I mean, we found our identity this week last year, and I'm looking forward to taking a step towards having an offensive identity, more of an offensive identity coming this week.
Well, I think I speak for everyone that's watching, listening, and who will be there Friday night. Can't wait to see the Tigers against the Bearcats. I think it's going to be a good one, to say the least. I really do.
I mean, from what I've heard from looking at the past scores that you see, talking to some of the old guard guys, the Dexter-Caruthersville games always end up being a really good football game.
That's as far as I've seen. Every time I've been at one, it's usually been close.
So we're going to go out there and compete. And we played 2 full games in a row, and we've had our success, and we've had our heartbreak, and we've taken our thumping. And I think it's time to take another step forward programmatically coming on Friday. But we all got to be hand in hand and marching towards the same direction, marching in the same direction, from the building to the parents to the fans to the program. We all got to be aiming at one thing, and that's taking the next step as a Caruthersville Tigers football program.
Well, Coach, I want to tell you, and please tell your guys, I I know we like to have fun on these shows, talk business, talk a little bit of fun. The guys back there smiling and laughing and joking. But they've been great to join us. So to Abeyon and Monte, thank you so much tonight. And Coach, as always, I want to thank you.
Hey, I unplugged you, but he said you guys did great and you guys did do well. We're looking forward to playing, and I'll give it to you now. We're looking forward to playing Tigers football on Friday. We're gonna have a great day at school tomorrow.
I totally expect to call and watch some Tigers football. And like guys, I was telling him, Abeyon and Monte, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. You were great, and good luck on Friday night.
Right, thank you.
Thank you, Coach. I'll see you Friday.
All right, see you Friday. Thank you.
All right. Thank you to all those